Good evening. I would like to call this regular Board of Education meeting for the School District of West Milwaukee, West Allis, West Milwaukee et al. To order. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Ms. Curran, would you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I ask Suzette to call the roll, you'll see that there's an action item we need to do. Noah wanted to be able to Skype tonight's meeting because he's out of town. Marty and I checked with Dan Valit, and this was the procedure that he suggested, that we have this as an action item. And a reminder, for us to take action on an action item, we need to have a motion on the action item.
Motion to allow Noah to Skype into our meeting.
Second. Second. I think we can do this just by a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You're in, Noah.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Suzanne, please call the roll.
Yes. Ms. Emmons? Here. Ms. Curran? Here. Mr. Lee?
Here.
Mr. Eustruck?
Here.
Mrs. Justum? Here. Mrs. Sujecki? Here. Mr. Bailey?
Here.
Mr. Keller?
Here.
President Sickich?
Present. At this time, I would like to read a tribute to our outgoing board member, Pat Curran. Whereas the conclusion of public service of Pat Curran, Board of Education member, School District of West Allis, West Milwaukee et al. On Monday, April 23rd, 2018, will historically be recorded as being a total of 27 years of significant educational contributions to this school district. And whereas she has, with exceptional spirit, self-dedication, and a community-minded philosophy, contributed significantly to the development and enrichment of the educational and recreational programs of this school district, to the end that those who participated have grown in knowledge, skills, and the enjoyment of living. And whereas during her tenure of service to the school district and community, she did provide strong leadership, guidance, and management skills to improve the instructional and recreational programs while filling the following vacancies as a school board member: 5 years as president, 3 years as vice president, 2 years as clerk, 2 years as secretary, 2 years as our parliamentarian. Committee chair of the following committees: Learning and Technology, Curriculum and Instruction, 7 years. Human Relations, Personnel and Policy Services, 5 years. Business Services, 4 years. Recreation, Community Services, Community Relations, 3 years. Committee of the Whole, 2 years. And a Strategic Planning Council, 1 year. Committee Vice Chair of the following: Learning and Technology, Curriculum and Instruction Services, 4 years. Human Relations, Personnel and Policy Services, 3 years. Recreation, Community Services and Community Relations, 2 years. And the Committee of the Whole, 1 year. Pat also provided countless hours of research and effort in the constant improvement of the educational and recreational programs for this school district. And whereas her example of public commitment, unfailing energy, and intellectual curiosity has provided inspiration and admiration to all those lives that have been touched by association with her, and in particular to her many Board of Education colleagues and members of the education profession. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the Board of Education of the School District of West Allis, West Milwaukee et al., honor this woman for her notable contributions to the field of public education and public recreation by her self-dedication to the principle of public service, her professional integrity, her personal interest in the education and recreational needs of the school district, and that this expression of our warm appreciation and affection be formally recorded and presented to Pat Curran. And be it further resolved that a copy of this testimonial be formally recorded in the official minutes of the Board of Education of the School District of West Allis, West Milwaukee et al., and signed by present officers and members of the Board of Education. Thank you so much for your years of service, Pat.
Yeah, I'm going to be like right in the picture.
should just put my hands up.
Proper notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the open meeting laws of the state of Wisconsin. Board members and Dr. Lexman, any additions or modification to this evening's agenda?
I have no changes.
Board members? Seeing none, we'll move on to public comments. I'm guessing, oh, Brian's checking. We have none. Move on to number 9, the superintendent's report, please. Dr. Lexman.
Great, thank you. So 9.1 this evening, we're going to start with a report from the West Allis Nathan Hale High School. Our representative is here. Introduce yourself again and share what's going on at Hale.
I am Jonathan Rao, Senior Representative, and we'd like to thank you for letting us share a little bit about Hale with you guys. So, I'll start with Youth Frontiers Leadership Conference. On March 14th, Assistant Principal Connie Bergman had the opportunity to spend a great day of leadership development with 20 outstanding Nathan Hale juniors at the Youth Frontiers Leadership Conference, hosted at Brookfield East. These students were recommended as representatives of our student body, further developing their leadership skills and encouraging them to take responsibility for creating a culture of respect in our school. The students were able to begin the reflection process regarding areas of our school that they think could be improved and begin developing potential solutions. They have now made a commitment to work along with our PBIS Kids Club and staff in leading our Nathan Hale culture building initiatives, student achievements, and clubs and organizations. On Saturday, March 24th, Nathan Hale music students competed in the district solo ensemble at Central High School in competition to qualify for the state competition on May 5th at Cardinal Stretch. We are proud to share that we had 529 gold ratings, 37 silver, and 2 bronze, with 19 ensembles and 47 solo and duets qualifying for the state competition next month. We wish these talented musicians the best of luck. A big congratulations goes out to the Nathan Hale science team under the direction of advisor Mrs. Hopping. They competed at state this past weekend and brought home medals in 2 events, 2nd in code analysis and 5th place in disease detectives. Everyone did very well, and it was a great way to end the season. DECA. We are proud to share that 2 of our DECA students, Joey DeTorres and Danny Tabasca, competed in the state competition last month and qualified for nationals in the area of sports and entertainment marketing. Nationals are April 20th through the 25th in Atlanta. Future Business Leaders of America, or FBLA. Sam Sansoni and Cam Christensen placed first at the FBLA regional competition last month and are competing at state in the sports and entertainment management event over the next 2 days. Today they are completing a 100-question test followed by a business/marketing analysis scenario tomorrow. If they place 4th or above, they will move on to the national competition in Baltimore this summer. FCCLA and HOSA are competing in their state competitions over the next 2 weeks as well. We will have an update next month. Musical Aida, Husky Drama, under the direction of Scott Grimshade, is proud to present the popular musical Elton John and Tim Rice's Aida. This timeless love story features an enslaved Nubian princess, Aida, who finds her heart entangled with Radames, an Egyptian soldier who is betrothed to Pharaoh's daughter, Amiris. As their love grows, Aida is forced to weigh her heart against the responsibility that she faces as the leader of her people. The show features music of Elton John with 85 Nathan Hale students in the cast, crew, and pit orchestra. Performances are the next 2 weekends, with shows on April 13th, 14th, 20th, and 21st at 7:30 p.m. and a 2 p.m. matinee on Saturday, April 21st as well. Students and seniors, $10, adults, $12, under 10 is $8. On behalf of the cast and crew, we would like to invite our school board members to a performance, and we will have 2 complimentary tickets awaiting you at the ticket table on the date of your choice. Prom and 10th Annual Safe and Sober Spring Family Night. Prom is later this month, Saturday, April 27th, at the Milwaukee County Zoo, with a theme of Enchanted Forest. In an effort to promote a safe and drug/alcohol-free celebration, we will once again be having our annual Safe and Sober Spring Family Night next Monday, April 16th, at 7 p.m. in the Nathan Hale Auditorium. Nathan Hale and Central High School will once again be working in collaboration with the West Allis Police Department and the West Allis-West Milwaukee Community Coalition to present on the dangers and consequences of substance use and dealing with general school and life stresses, keeping safe and drug alcohol free during the upcoming end-of-year celebrations. We encourage parents to attend this event with their son or daughter to help educate and ensure the safety of our students during these events. Students who attend this resource night with their parent or guardian will receive a $15 discount voucher to be used toward the purchase of a prom dance ticket, while if the student or parent attend on their own, they will receive a $10 voucher. In addition, there will also be a raffle for prom tickets and other great prom accessories. We hope to see our students and parents in attendance. And that's all I have for our presentation today.
Any questions or comments by board members? Bill?
What time was the show on Friday night?
7:30 p.m.?
7:30?
Yeah, 7:30 p.m.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Great. Nicely done. Thank you.
You are free to go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for your report.
Have a nice night.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the legislative update. Just make a few highlights here. There's been a lot of attention given to the new school safety grant opportunity for schools. And within this new legislation, it creates the Office of School Safety. So State Attorney General Brad Schimmel has appointed Glenn Rayberg as interim director of the Department of Justice's new Office of School Safety, and they're actively seeking applicants for the permanent position. But this office was created under a school safety bill that Governor Scott Walker signed into law last month. It's in charge of administering a $100 million grant program that schools can apply for to make their buildings more secure. And in fact, today, our team met on part of what we're being encouraged to do by the Department of Justice is submit a letter of interest regarding what we would be interested in pursuing in a grant application. They don't have details of what the process is going to be, how they're going to distribute the funds. All of that is unknown because this has come up so quickly. But they just want to get a feel for what school districts are likely to request, and so we're looking at upgrading all of our camera systems so that we have kind of state-of-the-art and surveillance on every single exit and entry in and out of a building, which we don't have right now. And then there's some schools that still need double-gated entries, meaning you get buzzed in and then you're in the office. So West Milwaukee is an example where you get buzzed in and you're actually in the school proper because of the way that's been designed. But we're working on our letter of interest at this point, and once we draft that, we'll share it with the board just so you see kind of how we're kind of positioning requests that may appear in the future. Assembly Bill 1032. This is the bill that under current law, school boards and school districts and governing bodies of private schools are required to have a school safety plan in effect, and that's within 3 years of their going into existence. And this bill eliminates the 3-year period and requires our school boards and governing bodies of private schools to have a school safety plan in effect permanently, which we do. We have a school safety plan, and we're soliciting proposals from consultants to help review that and advise on how we can make sure we keep that up to date. The bill is also going to require that we annually submit a report to the board and to, I would imagine at some point, to DPI about that plan. So that'll be some new work with the school board as well. And then, and it goes to DPI and the Department of Justice, sorry. So that'll be new work coming forward, but we're updating that plan, and I think it's probably good practice that it get talked about regularly with the school board. And then Senate Bill 494, which we talked about before, this was signed into law. This is the bill that that requires the Department of Public Instruction to change the annual school and school district accountability report to November, end of November rather than September. So it just lines up some of the dynamics of how schools operate. And then Senate Bill 711, which we talked about before. This has now been signed into law, and this supports dual enrollment programs taught in high schools. So all of those are new opportunities and some new requirements, and there's nothing new at the federal level at this point. And then I'll go on to congratulatory resolutions. We have a number of certificates here today. Congratulations to the following student athletes from Nathan Hale High School. For all area Milwaukee Journal Sentinel girls basketball team, Alyssa Cruz was third team, Kellyanne Sotiros, honorable mention, and George Sotiros was area coach of the year. So that's a great honor for George. And the Now newspaper All Suburban girls basketball team, Alyssa Cruz was named first team, and George Sotiros, Now newspaper coach of the year. And then Peyton Mako at Nathan Hale. Peyton is receiving recognition again for 3 different reasons. He is one of 8 area wrestlers to be nominated for the 17-18 Milwaukee Journal Sentinel High School Sports Award Wrestler of the Year. The winner will be announced on May 14th at the Pabst Theater downtown. And secondly, on just this past weekend, Peyton represented Wisconsin in the 152-pound division of the Flow National Wrestling Tournament, where he won the national title. And third, Peyton was named the 2018 Wisconsin Wrestling Coaches Association Wrestler of the Year. Peyton will be taking his talents to the University of Missouri this fall. And then finally, Randy Farrell, who's the Nathan Hale wrestling coach. Randy was named 2018 Wisconsin Wrestling Coaches Association District 7 Coach of the Year. So congratulations to our honored athletes and our coaches. And then going on to 7.4, some update and information items. First, from our last meeting, there were 2 public comments. One was regarding the small territory transfer that is of interest to some residents in New Berlin that are part of the West Allis, West Milwaukee School District. And what they shared was that, the appeal to DPI was not submitted in a timely fashion according to DPI, and so that means that it ends that process for the current cycle. But that they did indicate that they'll be pursuing this again in the future, so we're already having some conversations with Dan Leader Council with how we start to prepare, and if there's things we can work on now to get ahead of this a bit, but at the same time balance that with, I don't want to spend a lot of hours with attorneys. It's something that may or may not take place in the future, but at the same time we want to have a little bit of our ducks in a row. So just so the board is aware that we're working on that. And then there was also a parent making comments advocating for a high school assignment change. And although, I can't discuss what would be considered part of a confidential student record, I mean, a parent can show up and tell us everything they want about their kid, but we're not permitted to talk about those things publicly. But in this situation, we've followed policy and procedures, and that have been implemented properly and consistently. But one of the conversations that we are going to take up on Wednesday with directors is going forward is potentially a different way that we can align non-resident pathway assignments to coincide a little more with resident. Because now that we're in neighborhood schools, it's pretty predictable kind of the path from an elementary to an intermediate to a high school, except, Frank Lloyd Wright, where school splits, right? So there may be a way to kind of align some of this in practice a little more tightly, which is what we intended, what we tried to do kind of in the transition into neighborhood schools. But it's worth a conversation now that we are in the neighborhood schools and that transition is essentially being completed. So that'll be really going forward. I mentioned that we're developing a letter of interest around the school safety grant. The parent satisfaction and employee engagement surveys are open right now, so I just wanted to remind everybody about that. And then this week is Severe Weather Awareness Week. So this is the week where we go back in the business of practicing tornado drills. And it feels like we're still in winter, but, those springtime thunderstorms hopefully are not too far. And that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thanks. Any questions for Dr. Lexman? Seeing none, we'll move on to board president's report. Before I get into the review of the calendar, I would like to take this opportunity once again to thank Pat for all her years on the board, and would also like to thank Sue for her time on the board, and your official recognition will be on April 30th at that school board meeting. Also would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Gary Schultz and Christine Klug as new board members, and we will see them at their first meeting on the 23rd.
So Sue's is on the 23rd, not the 30th.
Did I
No
s-
meeting on the
You said
30th.
30th,
Oh, I'm sorry,
I could
23rd.
be somewhere else on the 30th, I was really confused.
23.
23rd.
I just can't read. Okay, we'll move on to the board calendar. After tonight's regular meeting, we have our business services workshop dealing with food services in the Wellness Center. Following that, we will have a closed session meeting. Next Monday, the 16th, at 6 o'clock, we'll have superintendent and West Allis City Clerk workshop, and that's going to be dealing with checking on moving the polling places. Also, communication, public relations, and recreation workshop on athletics. Monday, the 23rd, will be the regular Board of Education meeting. The new board members will take their office then. And following that, we will have a business services workshop dealing with the proposed 218-219 budget and preliminary tax levy. Then we go to Monday, May 7th, at 6 o'clock, we have our regular Board of Education meeting. Just a reminder to the public that all of our Board meetings are televised on, I believe it's Channel 13, and they start at 6 o'clock. Our workshops are not televised, but they are open to the public. And I just have one thing, little pitch for April 27th, that Friday evening, is the West Allis West Milwaukee Monogram Club Scholarship Dance. Anyone else have community?
The tickets are $10
For,
the monogram.
yes,
I-
Pat?
Yes, I would like to give a pitch to the West Allis Players who have their production Schoolhouse Rock Junior coming up, April 27th and 27th at 7 p.m. and 28th at 7 p.m. They also have a 3 o'clock show on the 28th and April 29th, a 3 o'clock show. 4 presentations at West Allis Central High School. So for family up there, a good time to get together and bring your children to the event sponsored by the West Allis Players.
Heather?
Saturday, April 21st, Irving is having a vendor fair, so get some spring shopping done, and I saw some pretty cool auction items and raffle items up there, so come spend some money.
What day was that?
Saturday, April 21st. Is it 8 or 9? Sorry, Doug. It's 8 or 9, I don't know, till 2, I
Till
believe.
2.
Yeah.
Yes, just come after 9.
After 9,
Till
there you
2.
go. Give them the buffer.
Anyone else? Seeing none, we will move on to our consent agenda. 2 items this evening, 11.1, the approval of the minutes from March 26th, and 11.2, the employment summary and supplemental contracts. Does any board member need either of those separated out? Seeing none, we will take them as...
Move to approve.
Thank you. Second by Stephanie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. That moves us into our action item. We have one this evening, 12.1, new board policy number 345.7, transcripted credits for intermediate level, and this is a second reading.
Hello, everyone. So last time we did the first reading, and there was just some suggested language changes, which we have made to that second section. And otherwise, is coming forward for a second read with no additional new information. Any questions for us on this one?
Seeing none?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Thank you. That is an 8-1 vote. That still passes. We will move to number 13, agenda items or workshop items. I think we're kind of set for now on the workshop items, but if there's agenda items.
Just for the
Seeing
fun
none?
of it, I was going to try to think of one, but
Okay, at this time, we'll take a 5-minute recess while Brian takes down the cameras, and then we will reconvene for our business services workshop. We are at recess.